Are you ready? Let's go.
Yo, what's up? What's cracking with everybody? What's happening with you on this Thursday evening? What's up? It's Sports Dad. You already know what time it is. For those of you that are first checking out the channel, make sure that you go to YouTube and subscribe and then hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when we posting new videos and things like that. So thank you for tuning in tonight. We got a wonderful topic lined up for you tonight. We're going to talk about Power Five. We're going to talk about what, first of all, the major, I would say, I like to call them the major three organizations that are often talked about in Michigan, which is Power Five football, Rising Stars program, and then we're also going to hit on Sound Mind, Sound Body football program as well. So, and we're going to get into it. But before you do that, though, but make sure that number one, that we're if you got a comment, be sure to post it in the chat and we'll definitely recognize you. And let's just do a little test, and let's just get the positive energies flowing in. If you're in the chat already, let's just post good, let's say good vibes. Yeah, post that right now. Good vibes. But while you're doing that, though, it is very important to me to ensure that we keep this going and that we continue shooting for the stars, if you will. So those of you that would like to donate to the channel, the information is that below. You could definitely send all donations to the Cash App address at the bottom. At the end of the day, I'm working for you and we're all working together, trying to put as much recruiting information out there as possible so that parents, players, can be educated. And also, too, if you're a coach and if you're taking some information away from this, hey, that's great, because that's a whole goal as well, because we're sharing a lot of information. But just so you know, we're all also, too, almost at the 300 subscriber mark. So let's keep it going, share the information, and let everybody know that they can check us out and where they can find us at the YouTube, and make sure you subscribe. Okay, so we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about the recruiting process. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Okay. I see you, Michelle. Good vibes. There you go. So, all right, here we go. This is going to be a good topic, and I'm suspecting, more people to join, but also too, I do understand that people come and view the video afterwards, after it's posted too. So that's perfectly fine. So you hear a lot about these programs. And the reason why I did this is because, lately I've been getting calls and things like that saying like, hey, what do you think about this program? And what's your opinion on that? And things like that. So, I figured that it would be advantageous for us to do something like this, for me to do something like this and just put it all out there or whatnot. So we're going to start off with Power Five. Okay. And Power Five football program. I think it's a pretty good, a pretty good football program that's out right now. And I actually had the opportunity to interview this guy too as well. His name is George Yarberry. He's one of the top guys at this particular organization. And so when you get a chance, that video is actually on my YouTube platform. And once again, subscribe to the channel. But when you get an opportunity, check it out. George Yarberry, his interview was pretty good, very informational. This guy wrote a book on the recruiting process. He also too wrote a book on, how important it is to make sure that you are, creating good highlights, because a lot of times players shoot themselves in the foot. Sending out highlights either too early or sending out the wrong ones, and it puts a bad taste in the coach's mouth, and we know how that is. And so, but George is what I got from him, and I'm a pretty good judge of character. I can pick up on good energy when I'm interacting with someone. But during the interview, I got a good sense of genuineness from this guy. And he's been doing this for quite some time. As you can see on the site, he's been doing this since 1998, right? And so, and that's a very long time. He was out when these guys before Twitter, and things like that, and was doing VHSs and getting that information out to coaches and things like that. So he's definitely dedicated to helping players become better and putting themselves in a position to be recruited. And so, but what do you get when you sign up with Power 5 and when you interact with them? Well, you get this guy, number one. Number two, if you take a look at their website, this is some of the things that I do. I go to the website. The internet is a powerful source. So I go to the website and I check out certain things on the website. And, I like to look at things. I like to look at the staff, and what, headings they got and things like that. And they pretty much, industry standard or whatnot, but check it out when you get a chance. I also like to take a look at the Twitter pages too. The Twitter pages speaks volumes. It lets you know basically how how active they are, how many people are following them, how popular they are, and things like that. And so it looks like they got a nice little following as well. And when and it says here, ultimate prep for college, day one camps, football skills, position work, 707, big man training, and things like that. So here's the thing. Now, I have not had an experience personally with these guys. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you go subscribe to the YouTube platform or whatnot. Let's see. Good vibes. Oh, okay. We got, hey there, hey there, hey there. All right. All right. So, and if you got questions or comments at any time, make sure you drop them in. But I have not actually had, I have not took my kid or any of my boys to this particular program because number one, I didn't find out about it until, later. But I do know people that have, and these people I know are very, very informational and giving me information on this situation. And I've received nothing but good feedback from this particular program. When you sign up with them, you definitely know that you have an opportunity to put some work in, which is super important, putting in work. The training, training camps, you got college one-day camps that they have too, which basically is evolved around the college camps. When you go to a college camp, they put you through these combine testings and things like that, and they make sure that you're prepped with that so that you could stand out when you actually go to these camps, because there is an art to it. And so so they take a deep dive into that, and it's mostly football skills, positional skills and things like that. And get this, you also get to some 707. I had a friend of mine who had his kid in the program, and they were also doing some traveling 707 too. And that's huge because that gets you a lot of exposure and gets you in front of, possibly recruiters and things like that when you're traveling doing 707. So in a nutshell, it's a solid program ran by solid people. Once again, I interviewed this guy on and I have a video, a full length video. It's probably, ranging from 30 minutes probably to an hour of an interview that I had with this guy. And he sat down and he answered a lot of questions and he gave a lot of good information. So at your when you at your leisure, make sure you go and check that out. All right. Make sure you go and check that out. All right. All right. So let's see who we should look at next. Number 2. All right. We're going to go with Rising Stars. Yo, I see people coming into the chat. I appreciate you being a part of it. At any time, if you got a question or whatnot, or if you got a comment, make sure you just drop it in and we can talk about it. All right. So, so the next organization I want to talk about is Rising Stars. Okay. We're going to talk about them, Rising Stars. And it's funny how I came in contact with this organization. But I'm going to give you the information that you want to know. And here we go. So looking at their website, once again, Rising Stars, it's pretty solid. They got a lot of information going on. I did take my kids to this program, my older boys, a few times, and worked out at this guy's program. The guy that runs this program his name is Reggie Wayans. Okay, Reggie Wayans. And as you can see, he has a following as well. A pretty large following, 9,000 followers or whatnot. And he's pretty active on social media and things like that. But this organization is ran by a guy by the name of Reggie. I always butcher his last name, and I don't like people to butcher my last name, so I won't try to pronounce it. So, but one thing I think we should all know about this guy is that he's a driven dude, and he started this program, and I think it was more so motivated by his son. It's actually a touching and very compelling story. And I know he shares it and not shy about it as well. But he tells the story. But and he actually told me that he lost his son, who was a football player, and to a car accident, I believe. And then it was just a tragic situation. No parent would want to be in that. Would want to be in that situation, because the ultimate goal is that for our children to bury us, not us bury our children. And so that unfortunate situation happened. But what he did to keep the legacy going with his kid is that he created this avenue, because these are things that they were doing, but he created this avenue that would support kids to try to get them in college or whatnot on a scholarship and things like that. And so he built this platform, and which is a pretty good platform. It works. People know who he is. And as you can see here, he has the information on his Twitter page that he's helped 1,785 prospects earn scholarships. He also got 10 guys, that were affiliated with this program or and came in contact with this program in some way, shape, or form. And 10 guys in the that fails. So, that's huge. And that speaks volumes, right? So, but what really stood out to me, though, is that when I first actually started this channel, guys, when I didn't know they can have an opportunity to be recruited and things like that. And so I had a lot of questions as a parent, right? And so if I had questions, I'm pretty sure you got questions and things like that. And so, and athletes. And so I wanted to give them a live experience and get this information out. So, is that I actually did a video, and I kind of poked the bear a little bit, but I was talking about the outside entities and how much power that they actually have in the area of recruiting. Because back in the day, truth be told, that the recruiting used to really be handled at the high school level. And that has definitely shifted, right? That has definitely shifted. And so did basketball with AAU, and, football with these organizations and things like that. So it shifted to these guys, and it's heavy. So I posted some things out there, basically basically saying that if your kid is not included in these programs, then 9 times out of 10, they're going to probably get overlooked, right? And I also said some other things. So when you get a chance, go look at it. Go check out the video, because it's good to see how things evolved. I still feel, kind of the same way a little bit, but my thought process about these things are totally different now. And but once I posted that video, right? I got a phone call, and he called me. And so I'm like, whoa, right? So he called me, and he's just like, hey, I seen your video, and, I just want to talk to you about a few things, and, just let you know, like, clear some things up, provides a level of clarity, and which I definitely appreciated. And we had a conversation. We talked for about a good 30 minutes. And that was huge to me, because he didn't have to do that, right? So that was pretty solid. And he's a pretty solid dude. I know he normally has football workouts every Sunday or whatnot. And because I took my boys there a few times, And they have football workouts every Sunday, which are pretty competitive. He has coaches for, practically for every position that are there. They're practicing. These sessions are held at a dome, indoor facility, and sometimes if the weather is good, they're outside and things like that, and they're getting it in. And so a lot of high school coaches and things like that should be kind of thanking these guys, because it's guys, it's organizations like this that's helping sharpen the tools, so that when they get on the field and perform, it's because they've been actually putting in the work over the off season, and it is nonstop with this, with Rising Stars. And so he does that, and he does a really good job at that. Also too, before COVID hit, one thing that you could rest assured and look forward to with Rising Stars is the bus tours. In the past, they've done a lot of bus tours. And from what I understand is that those bus tours are pretty successful. They get on these college tours, right? They get on the bus and they travel, right? And they go to different colleges, and they get out and do camps at these colleges and things like that. So the college coaches can look at them. And so, and I know that's, COVID has really, taken a lot of this away, but you could definitely look forward to that. And that was a big thing that he did. And I would say he is also connected too, because he knows what's going on. Right. So, I heard a lot of hype about the bus tours and things like that. So I decided to allow my boys to be a part of one. And we went to college in Toledo. Was it Toledo? Oh no, I saw him at Eastern. He actually had a bus at Eastern. I drove my boys down at an Eastern camp, Eastern Michigan. And I saw him there, we was chopping it up or whatever. And then all of a sudden he was like, hey, such and such is getting ready to, they're getting ready to offer your boy. And I'm like, who? Like, he told me who. And I'm like, how did you know that? And he just, he just said, I know people. Right. And sure enough, they came right over and they offered my kid like his first offer, and so like, and I was like, man, wow. So like, this guy is definitely connected. Like I've had multiple conversations with this dude, and, and his predictions and things like that, they're pretty much spot on. So, and I've heard other people say it too. So he's definitely connected. He's in the know, and he'll go to work. He'll go to work. He'll get it done. I want everybody to understand this too, because this was a very controversial subject that we talked about before, on my channel. Thanks, bro. I appreciate you. And so those of you that are in the chat, once again, subscribe to the channel, and if you and make sure you hit the notification bell. Right, got to say that. So, but it was a very, very touchy subject that we had. And if you look at my recordings and my videos, you'll see that I talked about money, right? And I talked about paying these organizations because they cost, right? Even the workouts, and things like that, they cost in this period. So here's my thought process on it. I do not mind investing in my kid's future. I do not mind that. That's probably one of the best investments that you could probably ever make, investing in your children. I think that you should do it. Is definitely worth it, right? So, but it depends on where you're gonna spend your money, right? Where you're gonna spend your money. And so I don't mind that situation. And the fact of the matter is that you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay in some way, shape, or form. Even on the camps, right? The college camps and things like that. There's a fee for that, right? But there's various people out there that are doing certain trainings and things like that, speed training. You got to pay in some way, shape, or form. You got to pay. And there is nothing wrong with investing in your kids in their future. There's nothing wrong with that, and investing and making an investment in their actual craft. Okay. And so and so that's one of the things that I'm focused on, and that's one of the things that I want to hit on. Invest in your kid, invest in their future, invest in their craft, whatever it may be. But pretty much with Rising Stars, that's what you are going to get. That's what you're going to get when you sign up with this guy. Also, too, he also have former players that were there. Jonas Gray, who played for the New England Patriots. I got a chance to interview him. He's on my channel and whatnot, and we had a good conversation. But he came back and he was working in Rising Stars program. And at the end of these sessions, he always gives the kids a good pep talk. So I think he with Reggie, I think he's pretty solid. He's pretty solid. So yeah, that's Rising Stars. If you got questions, if you got comments, put that information in. So but as you can see, he has a following and things like that. But Reggie's pretty solid. Rising Stars is pretty solid. But check out those videos, though. I think you'll find them you'll find them entertaining. All right. Last but not least. All right, we're gonna talk about sound mind, sound body. All right, we're gonna just jump. We're gonna talk about these guys, and I think that I think you're gonna really enjoy this. So hopefully you're enjoying this information thus far. Those of you that are in the chat, if you got questions, comments, make sure you comment. If this is your first time coming to the channel, make sure that you subscribe. Go to my YouTube platform and subscribe to my channel. Okay. Sometimes I am going live too from my Facebook page, but sometimes the message, if you're communicating with message through the Facebook, sometimes I don't get those. So, but if you do it directly through YouTube, I'll get them. Okay. So Rising Stars. So let's talk about these guys. Not Rising Stars. I'm sorry. Sound Mind Somebody. It's a lot that's going on. All right. So let's do this. So let me share my screen. All right. I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. Wrong screen. Share. Okay. This one. Is it not working? It's not working. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. So, all right. Rising Stars. Like, well, I don't know why I keep doing this. Sound Mind Somebody. Boom, get it right. All right, so here we go. It's a lot that's going on. I'm thinking about eating. I haven't eaten yet, but Sound Mind Somebody. So here it is, this particular program, right? And I know you heard a lot about this program. This was one of the most popular programs, in Michigan. And in fact, I know that there are a lot of kids that travel and to this program from different states and things like that. Here on the website, one of the things that stuck out to me is that here's it looks like Jim Harbaugh, who was actually having a conversation with these guys and at a camp that they did back in 2015, which was pretty large or whatnot. But this particular organization is ran by one of the guys that I got a chance to know, who I thought was pretty cool after getting a chance to know him. I think he's a very smart dude, and you'll see why. So here's his website, right? Here's his website. Oh, okay. So let's see what we got going on here. Sound Mind Somebody is a great camp. Yes, sir. He's like, my nephew has been through there. Yes, sir. A lot of people have. And so here we go. So if you look on Twitter, you'll see what type of influence this program has, right? On Twitter, you got 11,000 followers, right? 11,000 followers, probably a mixture of players, coaches, high school coaches, and college coaches, right? How do you know that, Cephas? Because I've gone through them. I've looked through his site. And that's what you got to do. As a parent, you got to do research. You got to do research as a parent. Especially if you're going to be investing, you want to know where your money is going. You got to invest. And I would honestly say that this program would definitely make you feel good about investing in your child. Why do you say that? Is because one of the things that I did not do with my older boys is that I did not get them plugged in with a camp on a with an organization on a consistent basis. And one of the things is that I didn't know, and number two is that I was very skeptical about it. And if you watch the videos, you'll understand why I was skeptical. So this time around, I took some advice and I decided to make an investment. And I, invested into this program. Why did you invest into this program? Well, first of all, I'm just huge on interaction, right? And I think that Kurt and his team of people that he have with him, Curtis Blackwell, I interviewed only person I didn't interview is Reggie. I got a little interview snippet with him of him talking, but I didn't really sit down with him and actually record it on video. So maybe he'll come and sit down with us and talk and do a live session with us. I don't know. But I did actually do one with him. Actually, Kurt was one of the first that actually did this with me. Barely knew me. I reached out to him like, hey, can we talk? Have a conversation. This is what I'm trying to do. He was like, for sure, absolutely, And so he sat down with me, and we did a virtual meeting over the COVID time span. And this guy, I would say, he has a nice touch on people. And I think that if you're going to be in a situation like this, if you're going to be a part of something like this, part of an organization, or leading an organization, you definitely have to have a people's touch. I think you have to have people's touch, and you can see the results of that. But he's really good with people. He's a smart dude, and he's built a nice apparatus around him within his program. And so when you sign up with this program, you get a lot, right? You get a lot. And it's what stood out to me is it's more than recruiting. And but what really stood out to me is that I got a few friends who have kids that are in the same grade as my boys. And same grade as my youngest son, Cephas, in class of 2022. And these guys are heavily recruited. And and I know these kids very well, but one of the parents told me, he was like, you need to get these guys, you need to get your son plugged in with this group, you get them plugged in or whatever. And I was just like, I'll check it out. So when COVID hit, and I would talk to Kurt off and on. I don't know if, I would talk to him off and on, a little bit through social media, because I like to do my research and follow from afar or whatever. But, I'll reach out to him and say, hey, I think I got one of my kids. I think he's one of the best in his class. I want to get him plugged in with your program. He's like, for sure, bring him. Be careful when you're doing stuff like that as parents, and make sure that your kid could live up to it. And I talked about that in the video as well. But over COVID, I reached out to Kurt, and because I after following him and doing my research, I noticed that what type of guy he was. He's a go-getter. He believes in what he does. He believes in his program, and you could tell that he's committed to it. And so I watched him on Twitter. He's very active on Twitter. Dude is on Twitter every day, right? And typically, some people, when you're organization and you got a large following and things like that, sometimes you have people do your Twitter pages for you and things like that. But the dude has, the dude is, I believe he's running his own Twitter page, you know, because you could tell like some of the things that he posts, he has, you know, so he has this, so I'm not somebody, and then he has this, right, as well. This guy has a good background. Come from Michigan State, was a recruiting guy there at Michigan State, and I reached out to him and I was like, hey, are you guys doing anything, like, you know, to keep kids engaged or whatnot? I know we quarantine and things like that, but what are you guys doing? And he was just like, I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know. And he did. He kept his word, man. And over COVID, like this guy and his staff kept the kids, you know, very engaged. They were doing virtual workouts, and I'm talking about like good workouts, right? How do you know that? Because, you know, I'm one of those fathers that like to push my boys and, you know, and challenge them, right? And so I've worked them out, because a lot of times kids be working out and they be like, we working out, and y'all really don't be working out. You don't really be knowing what you're doing and pushing yourself to the limit. They need somebody to push you. So I've done that to my boys. And but during these virtual workouts, I go in the basement and I see my younger son, Cephas, you know, dude sweating, and pain and things like that. I'm like, oh, they working these boys. Okay. You know, so I'm watching, you know, and get this, like these sessions that they were having were free. And I want to back up a little bit too and say that, you know, investing is good, right? But even in these programs, there are some, you do stumble across some free services. Like even with, Rising Stars, they did a top 175 camp, the top 175, athletes or football players or whatnot. And they had a camp, and it was an effort to get, you know, information to help with recruiting, and it was free, you know, but it was invite only. So, but during these sessions, they were pretty consistent. I mean, these guys were going a few times a week, and not only were they working out, but they were talking to these guys, like motivational type talking, and keeping them super, super engaged. And I was just like, wow, these guys are pretty consistent. They are pretty consistent. So I was really paying attention to it. And so, and once again, it was, you know, it was free. And so, and at the time I was watching him post, pictures from what the organization has did, throughout over a time span or whatnot. So you get in your workouts, right? So you sign up with somebody, they have a headquarters, which is on the east side of Detroit. And it's kind of like a button, you know, like to Grosse Pointe, but it's in the dome, but he has like a facility, right? You know, and when you go in there, you can actually see it's a full-fledged facility. And, and I'm on the east side, so that works for me. So, but they got their workouts, right? And then, so, you know, they got their workoups there, you know, weather's good, they'll go other places and things like that, but you're going to get your workouts. You got a staff that's designed, you know, to put you through your combine testing and make sure that you straight with that, all that good stuff. You know, they positional training, all that. You're going to get all of that. That's a given. If you have an organization and you can't give those, then you don't need to be an organization. But he has that, and that's what that's what you're getting. But in addition to that, which is why I said it's not all about football, you're getting a lot of other things too. So he 707. Wait, let me back up. You get 707 too. If you look through his Twitter page and things like that, you will see pictures of them flying on planes and going different places and going to different 707 tournaments and things like that, which is huge, and getting exposure from the different colleges, right? This guy is definitely plugged. And so I think, and he's always looking for ways to improve his program. And that's one of the things that I've been watching about this guy. He's always looking for ways to improve. And so, I'm on, Twitter, and I noticed that he posted saying that we are now taking applications on, we're now taking applications. Look, actually, I'm on the site now. Let's see some pictures here. But he said, we're now taking applications, right? Yeah. Let me just, okay. Yeah. So he said, we're now taking applications, for our elite program. And I'm like, okay, the elite program. And so I'm like, what is that all about? And then so he was like, make sure that you go and sign up. So I'm gonna take you through a few of these pictures though, so you can see how active these guys are and how interactive these guys are. That's my young guy in a yoga session, right? Right, in a yoga session. So he started an elite program, right? And in this elite program, of course, you had to, fill out an application for it and things like that, answer a whole bunch of questions because you just don't want to take on anybody, and I get that. You want to take on kids that are serious about their craft and things like that. But in this program, this program is definitely not for the faint of heart. It's very overwhelming, but it's a good overwhelming. You're getting your football training. Right now, while the season is going on, he's very strategic about that because you don't want any injuries and things like that. But within this program, you're getting your football training, of course. That's a given. Everything. He's going to make sure you're straight. He's going to make sure that you're good with your combat tech. He got guys that specialize in certain things, in speed and things like that. So he'll get them where they need to be. That's not the problem. But you're getting academic support as well. So in this program, academic support is huge. And so you're getting academic support. You're getting, he has counselors, right, that are assigned, to your kid, that are calling them, texting them, and things like that on a regular basis, holding your kid accountable. So in essence, he's helping you parent. and I'm gonna be honest with you, like, that has been a huge help to me. I haven't had to talk to my kid, about his grades. And to be honest, like, this is the best that I ever seen his grades. And so, and I mean, he's dropping the A's and B's, and I mean, just like, and doing it proud because these guys are holding them accountable. And I've listened, to the meetings and things like that from time to time, but they are really holding these guys accountable. They are filling out, they got your kids filling out, statements or goal sheets and making sure that they obtain the goals. And if they didn't obtain the goals, and, they hold them accountable to that stuff. And it's just not all athletic goals. It's academic stuff too. And so, and it's really huge. He's really pushing the guys to be better, all the way around. And that's definitely helpful to me, right? You're getting SAT, college prep, the entry exam, tutor, right? You're getting that tutoring that's happening on a weekly basis. They are reaching out to your kids, and they are actually having tutor sessions, and which is huge for the entry exam. They also put your kid through the entry exam just so that they can see where they are, and the goal is, in that, I mean, he's actually brought, he's actually brought in people, that specialize in tutoring, right, and specialize in this stuff to see results, to get good results, and they're dedicated to that in this program. You're getting virtual college visits, and conversations with college coaches, like motivational, like informational type, like speakers he's having on a nightly basis with these kids. And so my kid, like, so a typical day for my boy, he come home, he hits practice from, he leaves out of here, he's practicing from like 3 something to like maybe closer to 6 o'clock. He comes home, take his shower, eats dinner, and he's in the meeting with Sound Mind, Sound Body every night, just in the meeting. The only time they did on meeting is on Fridays, and that's because that's a game time situation. And then he goes from that, to his homework. And so it's like, you really don't have time for anything. So it definitely occupies your child. Then on Saturdays, like, you're getting, after the game, because, you get banged up in the game and things like that. But after the game, on Saturdays, they're doing speed. speed training, and then after the speed training, they're doing yoga. So like you see what I'm saying? Like you're getting all of this stuff. And so, and I know I'm missing some things, but I'm just painting this picture just to show you how why this program impressed me. Why it impressed me. They're operating at a high level. His staff is wonderful. He has young, fresh out of college that's helping them, that's super motivated, interns and things like that. So you could tell, like, he's constantly thinking. He's a mastermind. And I'm really big on customer service. I'm really big on customer service. That's just me. I've always been that way since I've been in corporate America. I've always been really big on customer service, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you, like the communication aspect, they over communicate, which is a good thing to do. And they over communicate. They sending you emails, you in text messages, you in groups, things like that. And I mean, it's nonstop once you're in. But most importantly, though, you have access to Kurt. You have access to him. I pick up the phone and call him right now. Oh yeah. So my wife was reminding me. She said they have FaceTime as well. They'll face. Ooh, she's so beautiful. Hey, girl. But yeah, they do have FaceTime too. They'll FaceTime your kid too. Like, and one time my son was in a meeting, and Kurt popped in the meeting. He was and he was like, you guys, he asked my son, he's like, write this down. And my son was like, oh, I don't need to write it down. I got it in my head. He was like, no, not gonna do that. You always should be prepared, and just start drilling them, man. And so when my son go into these meetings, he knows that he has to be on his P's and Q's. And so like it's helping him as a young man as well. So like, listen, I don't have all the answers as a parent, and I'm from the old school mentality that it takes a village. It takes a village. So no, honey, they don't have, well, they do have SAT prep. I don't think they have it on Sundays, but I think I mentioned it already, but they mostly have it. They mostly have it on Thursdays, I believe. And this is Michelle. So, right. So Michelle is one of the staff members, beautiful person, beautiful spirit. And, she makes sure that you have what you need. If you ever need anything, you can always reach out to him or reach out to her, but you'll have access to Kurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can pick up the phone right now and call him. He'll probably answer. And as you know, when you have a large organization and when you have a nice following, in most cases, you really don't have like, a really hands-on approach with the top guy. And you're welcome, Michelle. So sweet. And but you really don't have that hands-on approach. But Kurt makes sure that you do, and which is one of the benefits of it. You know what I mean? And I know he, not only does he talk to kids within the program, but he talks to kids outside of the program too. I saw him on Twitter that one kid posted his highlight, and he sent the message directly to that kid, was like, call me. Even when my boys, my older boys who now at, Wayne State playing football, whatnot. But when my boys were in their football season and they were having them, I found out that he was reaching out to them, and like, hey, and things like that. And so he makes sure that you are comfortable. He goes out of his way to ensure that you are comfortable, and that that he knows your child, and that you feel comfortable. And that's important. That's important to me. Like when you making an investment, and when you looking at a customer service aspect of it, I'll send Kurt a text message. He'll respond right away. Like I said, I'll call him, he'll answer, or if he can't, he'll tell me, he'll hit me right back. Or if I have a question, he'll be like, hey, let's set up a meeting and let's have a conversation. And we'll do that. the kids are also, getting things, as far as like, apparel, cleats and stuff like that. It's, you really see, you really see where your money is going, and that's important. And that type of stuff don't helps you understand, and helps you not, not look at it like, oh man, it's a bill or anything like that. It's a good investment, and you feel good about it. And so, and at the end of the day, like, I'm not in this program just to, for the offers. I'm in this program so that my kid can get better as a student, and ultimately, the athlete part is a part of it as well. And I can see that happening. I can see him maturing. And this program has definitely, he has benefited from it. And because he's benefited, we are benefiting from it too. And so, yeah, so it's a good situation. It's a good situation. So this is just, and I just gave you a crash, like a crash course on it or whatnot. But to really understand it, you have to really be a part of it. But this is out of all the three, this is definitely my number one pick for sure, 100%. Because communication is important, and just the things that's happening. He's electric. He's always on the move. He's always doing stuff. Like I'm looking at this guy like, how you got this going and you got this going over here? You know what I'm saying? Like, so he's just nonstop. And so in this program, and he got great people that are attached to this program too. Like his staff is super helpful and super responsive and spot on with things and stuff like that. So hopefully you feel a little bit more comfortable about things like this, and and because at the end of the day, you got to make an investment, and but it depends on where you're going to do it, and how are you going to feel when you do it. And so I wish if I could do it all over again, I would definitely have my older boys put through this as well, and attached to this program. That's what I would do. And so but unfortunately, time has passed. So now, I got an opportunity to put my kid through it, my younger kid, and I like it so far. It's very competitive, all the way around, man. And so that's my 2 cents about, all of these programs. And hopefully you walk away with something tangible. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, like I said, all these programs are pretty solid. But, if it was me, this is where I roll with. Now, and keep in mind, not everybody can get into these programs, right? Not everybody can get into Sound Mind Somebody, and things like that. So, it's okay, working with the other guys too. It's okay. It is what it is, man. So if you have like, I know some, and originally in my videos that I did before, I did some videos and I was saying that, a lot of parents don't have the money to do it, right? A lot of parents don't have the money to do it. And, and so, but I'm pretty sure that, I'm pretty sure that these guys, these programs, if you reach out to them and talk to them and let them know what the situation is, and you be 100% honest and solid, I'm pretty sure that something can be done because they want to help. They definitely want to help your kid. They definitely want to help. So, so that's my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents, guys. And, I stand by that. I stand by my word. And I told you guys, I'll be honest with you and just bringing you the information. So with that being said, I hope you feel better about it, right? So go home if you got a kid, and like if you got a kid that's in, middle school and getting ready to go to high school, that's a good time. It's a good time. And because it really starts early. It really starts early. And I'm going to post a video on next week about that, because a lot of you have a misconception, parents and kids have a misconception that, you got time, but you don't have time. You don't. Actually, when you get to high school, your time is it's going by very, very quickly. So that's my take. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. But I don't think I am. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for staying that long time and diving into this. Listening to me ramble a little bit. I really appreciate that. Stay tuned. I'm going to get back into the interviews with some people. I got some people in mind that I want to interview, and I'm keeping it going. I'm keeping it going because obviously it's people that's out here that want to hear this information. If you're in the chat, before we go, just say what up to a brother. Just say what up to a player real quick, and then we are out of here. My wife is downstairs cooking some lasagna, and I'm about to go kill it. Yes, sir. All right. So I think that's it. So on next week, just stay tuned and just be tuned in, because normally what I do is I post a pre-video to let you guys know what I'm gonna post or what we're gonna talk about. If you have an idea of something that you want to talk about, let me know. If you want me to dig into a certain topic, let me know. Right? Let me know. And comment, find me on social media. I'm everywhere, guys. And we can and I'll dig into it for you guys. But hopefully you walked away with something tangible tonight. And like I said, these guys that are over these groups are pretty solid. So that's what's up. Let's see. What's up, cuz? What's up, Caleb? Lasagna, yes, sir. Ravi, you know you always welcome. You stay right around the corner, bro. All right. Oh, all right. You know it. See, she's starting already. Like, see you on Sunday. Okay, for sure. Well, you probably won't see me, but you'll see him. Thanks, Michelle. I appreciate it. B, yes, sir. Hopefully this helped, man. Hopefully this helped, bro. Hopefully this helped. You were there with me from day one, and you know how I felt about all of this, bro. And I can honestly say that my perception has changed, and and it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it. You're definitely doing your kid a disservice if you do not invest in your kid. Let's see. There's my wife. It's in the oven, honey. Thank you, baby. Thank you. All right, guys. All right, so make sure you stay tuned with me. All right.
Are you ready? Let's go. Are you ready?
There you have it, folks. Another great recruiting session in the books. Definitely there were some huge nuggets that were dropped, and hopefully you're walking away with something tangible. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we post new information. And also, too, if you want to support the channel financially, be sure to send all donations to $SportsDadCEPH, and that's also on my YouTube platform as well. Make sure that you stay tapped in. And until next time, I'm out.